Welcome to Houston, the bottom of the South. If you ain't from around here, you might not make it out. I done seen it all, plenty balled and foul. One day buying them all, next they lost it all. Don't let the hype fool you, keep you too close by. These jackets will play cool and hit you with the 4-5.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Robbie here, YouTube on a Budget, back with another video. All right, guys, so this is just a little update on the dealership situation I had. If you don't know, but do know if you don't know, I took my truck to the dealership to get an oil change, and I wasn't aware that they did tire rotations when they did your oil change. I guess, I don't know. So when I first bought my truck, I had got it for a way I can get my oil changes for free, but unfortunately, it's kind of free, but since I bought I threw the supercharger in there at the last minute, guys. So with that being said, I'm not 100% sure if you have to have full synthetic, but I'm pretty sure it's recommended when you have a supercharger. So by me having a supercharger, I have to put full synthetic. So now I just have to pay for the synthetic oil. So second oil change I ever got, or second oil change I think I received so far, and it's in 5,000 increment miles. So every 5,000 I get my oil change. Now a lot of people say get it at 4. I noticed it was a quart low last time previous I got my oil change, but I'm gonna do a couple things different going forward since this situation I had happened. So they did a tire rotation, and like I said, I wasn't 100% aware of that, especially when I get there and they tell me it's gonna take 5 hours. Like, okay, like I was the second person in line. I understand there's appointments and all that, but why are you rotating my tires if y'all gonna be that behind? I just didn't understand that. So with that being said, guys, so they did a rotation, and I still haven't, I don't understand how they did a rotation and where they did it at, because I was watching the guy change my oil the whole freaking time. The only time I didn't see where my truck was, 2 times where I didn't see my truck, was when they first took it out of the little area where we park at to get your oil change. They took it around the back where they do oil changes at. Maybe that's where they did it, and then they brought it around and proceeded with the oil change. But that's the only time my truck was unaccounted for. But I have proof that they did the tire rotation, numerous proofs. The burnout tire, like my neighbor told me with the curve check wheel. Warner told me about that, but I already figured it out. But that was another one. And then my lock, I know where I placed my lock at. So they didn't tighten up the passenger side front. So what that caused, thank God, what that caused is when I got home, my wheel, I just felt something weird, like something broke. And then when I was backing up my truck, it just felt stiff. It felt weird, like something wasn't right. And I had my daughter come out and all that stuff, help me get back. And then all that, then I had to tow it to Extreme Off-Road. Shout out to them for taking me at the last minute. So now they're reimbursing me the money. Now this is where stuff gets interesting to me. They have to cut me a check. I guess you got to get it approved. Like, I didn't have the tow truck receipt, so I had to actually call the tow truck to have them email me the receipt. And I have the Extreme receipt right here, but I told them to email it to me too, so it'd be easier. So now, I guess, I don't know how that process works, guys. He asked me, did he want me to mail it? I told H no. I'll come pick it up. But how, I guess they have to go through corporate or something to get it a check. I guarantee they can't just write a check. Like, I'm pretty sure. I've been in businesses for a long time, so I had to get it approved. So now I'm just waiting on a check. They reimbursed me the whole 100%, giving me a free oil change. I think that's what they said, and something else. I told him, I take whatever you give me, but a tire rotation. So I don't want no more tire rotation. So, but now what I'm gonna do forward is I ordered a torch wrench, torque, whatever you say that crap, wrench. And I'm gonna check my tires, my lug nuts every time before I leave. I'm gonna check my oil before I leave. It's just, I didn't have an issue this time, but I've been researching, guys, on stuff on the internet, and I see now, thank goodness this dealership is awesome. They took care of me. They owned up to it. And it was no big deal after that, like, because they owned up to it. Like, they knew what mistake they made. I don't know if they held the person accountable. That's not none of my information. That's on them. Shoot, they should deduct that money from his check, if you ask me. But it could have been a lot worse, though. Just think about my safety, my trucks, my family's safety. Just think about if I didn't catch this, what could have happened. Like, it could have been tragic. But dealerships is not the only places that mess up. I want y'all to go and Google my wheel fell off my truck after leaving the dealership. Even though I say the dealership, you're going to see tire shops, oil change shops, of course, dealerships. It was another shop, a mechanic shop. Not everybody, not just dealerships make mistakes, guys. Now, it could have been a tragic mistake, but I look at it like this, man. We all make mistakes in life. As long as you own up to it and find a root cause and fix it, then that's the only way you can move forward. This is a huge lesson learned for me. A couple things that I learned from this. Just because it's the dealership doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. That's the number one thing I learned, because I always had in the back of my head, because I ain't never had an issue with a dealership. I always thought, if I take my car or my truck to the dealership, I won't have an issue. But then you have to think about, everybody is freaking human. Everybody make mistakes. The guy that, or the girl that was working on my truck was probably working on my truck, and then somebody probably was rushing them. So is it really that person's fault? You have to think about that. Because the person did the tire rotation, right? It tells a story. So they rotated this tire. This tire is rotated. Or I didn't even check this side. Or they didn't rotate this tire. Maybe they didn't rotate this one. Maybe they rotated this one, and then the boss said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing a tire rotation? Oh, I thought we were supposed to do a tire rotation. Nah, not on a truck like this. And he already tightened up this one, and he was probably proceeding to tighten up the one in the front. And then he said, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Let me hurry up. And you could tell he hand tightened them, because if you ever put a rim on your car or your truck, you hand tighten the lug nuts first, then you go in there with the impact, right? So that's what could have happened. I never looked at this side to see if it was switched. I have to look at the rim and remember how my rims was, but I never really paid attention to this side. But I know for a fact this side is done. The reason why I say this side is already done, tire rotation already done, because on the paperwork it said complete. And that's one thing I didn't look at. I was so pissed off and wasn't worried, not worried, wasn't focusing on the actual paperwork that it said tire rotation complete. It says it on there, clear as day. I didn't check to see that. But that's a possibility what could happen. It could have been a lot of other things that happened though. But like I said, guys, other lesson learned is, and this is a good thing I learned, if you go in there being professional and don't act like a typical nigga, then the outcome will happen better. So that's why I didn't go in there all pissed off, raising hell, because what that could have got me, it could have made the process a lot longer, etc., etc. So that's another thing I learned. Just go in there, be professional. Like I said, I really didn't have to do that much talking whatsoever. The other thing I learned, guys, check your crap, man. Check your crap. It don't matter who you take your car to or your truck. You can take it to your best friend. Check your stuff after it's done. That's the oil change. That's the tires. That's everything. Check your stuff. But other than that, man, that's all I have for the video, guys. That's just a quick update. So now I'm just waiting on the check. It's like $200 something, almost $300. No, it's $200 something. It's $200 something. But other than that, that's all I have, guys. This is Robert YouTube on Budget, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Peace.